There was a moment in Hollywood that felt like both a reunion and a reckoning. On the red carpet for the Stranger Things Season 5 premiere, Millie Bobby Brown and David Harbour walked side by side, not just as co-stars, but as two people entangled in one of the most sensitive and surprising controversies to rock the Netflix juggernaut. A hug, some laughs, a playful spark, and suddenly, the headlines shifted. This wasn't merely a reunion. It was a statement, a delicate public choreography that carried the weight of months of speculation, tension, and rumor. Just days before this premiere, reports surfaced that Millie Bobby Brown had filed a harassment and bullying complaint against David Harbour, her on-screen father Jim Hopper. While the details were never fully disclosed, the complaint reportedly covered extensive interactions, focusing on emotional strain rather than any physical or sexual misconduct. The reports described it as a substantial dossier, spanning multiple pages, cataloging instances that Brown and her team considered inappropriate or harmful in a professional context. The investigation, which allegedly spanned several months, added layers of scrutiny and speculation, with insiders suggesting that the production and legal teams conducted careful internal reviews to assess the validity of the claims. Despite the rumors circulating, the public had no clear answers about the findings or whether any remedial action was taken behind the scenes. Yet, when Brown and Harbour arrived at the TCL Chinese Theater in Los Angeles on November 6, 2025, any lingering tension seemed muted under the glare of the cameras. Dressed in coordinated black attire, Brown in a sleek, elegant gown, and Harbour in a classic tailored suit, they approached each other with an air of warmth and showmanship. Photographers captured playful interactions that felt both spontaneous and carefully measured. Brown teased Harbour by pretending to draw on his face with her pen, an endearing gesture that elicited smiles, chuckles, and even gasps from the surrounding crowd. Following that lighthearted moment, the two shared a hug, unmistakably mutual and very public, a gesture that immediately drew attention and analysis. The production team behind Stranger Things also had to navigate a delicate tightrope. Co-creator Ross Duffer referred to the cast as family, emphasizing a culture of care and mutual support built over the series' 10-year span. While he refrained from commenting on specific details of the allegations, he underscored the importance of maintaining a safe and respectful set for all actors, especially as the series concluded its final season. Executive producer Sean Levy echoed this sentiment, stating that the show had always prioritized respect, safety, and the well-being of its cast members, even as rumors and speculation circulated. Their public statements aimed to reassure fans and stakeholders that the production environment remained professional and supportive despite the behind-the-scenes controversy. Reactions among fans and commentators were mixed. For some, the red carpet moment was cathartic, providing a sense of closure to a narrative that had been fueled by weeks of rumors and uncertainty. The sight of Brown and Harbour laughing, teasing, and hugging seemed to validate a reconciliation, or at least a professional resolution. Others, however, viewed the interaction with skepticism, interpreting it as overly polished, overly neat, or performative. Social media discussions reflected this divide, with debates emerging about whether the reunion represented genuine emotional repair or a calculated effort to control public perception. The historical context of Brown and Harbour's on-screen relationship added additional weight to the moment. Throughout Stranger Things, their characters have shared a deeply emotional father-daughter dynamic, a central thread of the narrative that has resonated with audiences worldwide. Returning to this dynamic in a public setting, especially amid controversy, carried symbolic significance. It was more than just two actors walking a red carpet. It was a demonstration of their continued connection and commitment to a story that had defined their careers. Yet, the backdrop of allegations and internal disputes meant that every gesture was scrutinized, every laugh and hug dissected for authenticity. Neither Brown nor Harbour has publicly provided full details of the complaint or the internal investigation, leaving fans and journalists to speculate about what truly occurred behind the scenes. Netflix, as the platform behind the series, remained silent on the matter, emphasizing confidentiality and the privacy of those involved. The lack of transparency further fueled speculation, with observers attempting to piece together the narrative from public appearances, past interviews, and patterns in the actors' interactions. Harbour's personal life also added complexity, as public attention had recently turned to his past relationship with musician Lily Allen, whose creative output has been interpreted by some fans as reflective of personal experiences, intensifying scrutiny on Harbour's public persona. Past interviews and interactions between Brown and Harbour provide further context. Both actors have spoken about the complexity of their relationship, acknowledging moments of conflict alongside genuine affection and mentorship. Harbour has previously described his protective stance toward Brown as paternal, noting the responsibility he felt guiding a young actor through a high-pressure environment. These past statements lend credence to the idea that their on-screen father-daughter bond has real-life roots, though the allegations cast a shadow over the public perception of that relationship. On the night of the premiere, the actors navigated a delicate line between unity and silence. There were, no long explanations, no detailed public denials, and no confrontational statements. Instead, there was a warm embrace, repeated smiles, and the clear projection of a shared message. That despite challenges, they chose to stand together in that moment. In Hollywood, where controversies can, rapidly divide and destroy careers, this display of unity represented a powerful act of control over the narrative. This reunion was more than just a red carpet spectacle. It was a test of personal and professional resilience. For Millie Bobby Brown, who has spent much of her life in the public eye since childhood, it was a declaration of strength in vulnerability, a careful negotiation between personal feelings and public performance. For David Harbour, it was proof of endurance and the willingness to maintain professional and personal relationships, even despite complications and scrutiny. The optics were definitely important, but so too was the authenticity of their interaction. The ability to project connection without, negating the seriousness of past concerns. For fans who have followed Stranger Things for a decade, the moment was honestly pretty bittersweet. The show is ending, and the on-screen father-daughter story arc is concluding, but the off-screen narrative, well, it remains unresolved in many respects. The red carpet reunion symbolized both closure and continuation, a glimpse into a complex dynamic that extends beyond cameras and scripts. What follows remains uncertain. Will there be additional reconciliation, further disclosures, or maybe just a private resolution? Only time will reveal the next chapter in this story. But the premiere provided a moment of shared acknowledgement, a collective recognition of both personal and professional growth. Ultimately, the reunion offered a nuanced look at how relationships operate in high-stakes, highly publicized environments. Hollywood relationships, especially those shaped by years of collaboration, public attention, and power dynamics, are rarely simple. Brown and Harbour's interaction demonstrated that even amid controversy, it is possible to navigate complexity with care, grace, and professionalism. It highlighted the coexistence of power, loyalty, vulnerability, and negotiation, showing that sometimes the most powerful statement is made not through words, but through deliberate, meaningful presence. As the cameras flashed and the crowd cheered, the moment crystallized as more than a reunion. It became a symbolic coda to a story that had, honestly, captured audiences' hearts. The gestures, laughter, and embrace represented continuity and resilience, a public acknowledgement of shared history and mutual respect. It reminded fans and observers that behind the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, real human connections persist, shaped by emotion, experience, and the demands of a world that scrutinizes every action. In the end, Millie Bobby Brown and David Harbour's red carpet reunion was a careful balance of authenticity, public expectation, and personal resolution. It revealed the complexity of relationships forged in the limelight, where power, reputation, and genuine affection intersect. The moment offered a rare glimpse into how two individuals navigate controversy, maintain professional integrity, and demonstrate unity, even when the world watches every move. It was a moment of connection, a statement of resilience, and a reminder that sometimes walking into the spotlight together, despite everything, is the strongest message of all.